Hello, thank you for joining me today. Yesterday, I was talking about dignity, and so today I had some more thoughts on how to provide with dignity and to give respect. I'm Shar Meekins. I'm an excellent developmental disabilities nurse with a passion and desire to mentor nurses, um, train direct supports professionals, caregivers to support agencies and individuals with developmental disabilities. Thanks for joining me again. Yesterday we talked about dignity being in the form of using their name and in modesty, and even in providing a nonverbal teenager with space. Often we, don't give our DD teenagers space. We just think of them as continue to be children, and we don't learn how to adjust our to respect their boundaries as a teenager. So today I was thinking about dignity in the form of how other people approach our individuals with DD. And so some of this is being an advocate, but I would classify most of this as providing dignity. So for instance, when I take an individual out into the community, there's one gentleman that's a few years older than me, and we go out for coffee at least once a month. And he doesn't have a lot to say as far as a conversation, but we definitely know our likes and dislikes in our conversations. We talk about cars, talk about calendars, talk about coffee cups. So there's definitely topics that we know we enjoy talking about. And often people will approach us, and like one day we were for coffee and this lady said, I understand and I really appreciate seeing you guys together because I have a younger brother with DD. And we just smiled, and I mentioned to my customer, I said, or not my customer, my friend, right? Thing of giving dignity. There's no ownership. Just because I work with somebody does not give me ownership. And I apologize. I'm in providing dignity. So anyway, I turned to him and I said, she thinks we're brothers and sisters. And we chuckled, but I provided him dignity by not quickly saying, oh, well, we're not related. Because it really doesn't matter if we're related or not. She just enjoyed that we were having coffee together and enjoyed that we enjoyed our time together. So that was one way to give dignity in that circumstance. Another is when someone, like let's say we go to an appointment, whether that's a doctor's appointment or whatever, and the healthcare professional comes in and doesn't address the individual, doesn't call them by name, doesn't talk to them, doesn't ask questions. And providing dignity for them, in my perspective, is first of all to the customer and asking if I am able to discuss with the provider our concerns or our questions, and first before we even talk about the health issues or mental health issues or swallow issues, whatever it is. And obviously they give me the consent to discuss. And then if a provider asks me a question without addressing the customer, I will turn to the individual and I will repeat the question to them. Because providers, if they haven't worked with the DD population in a broader sense, often they may not even think that the individual understands what they're saying or even understands their questions. And what's amazing is our individuals do understand, not ours, I am so sorry, that the individual does understand and can respond, whether that's not verbally, but even with a nod or of the head. So I really by addressing the individual and giving them an opportunity to converse. And even if they are verbal, then they're more than willing to tell the provider what they're going through and what they're thinking and how they're feeling. And they're more than willing to give them a piece of their mind if they're not feeling respected. So I've always enjoyed those individuals that are. So those were further thoughts about dignity today that make sure that the community that they live in is acknowledging them as an individual, as a person with purpose and unique needs and desires. So that's what I love about being a DD nurse, is because I can support the individual to be able to speak their mind and let the individuals, let the doctors know, let the nurses know, let anyone in the community know who they are and what they love. So thanks for joining me, and tomorrow I'll be on the road traveling, but I will do my best to come on if I have a connection, and we'll be talking about what I'm anticipating for the